Guys, what's up? Welcome back to this brand new video. My name is the Project Guy, and in this video, we will just delve deeper into advanced JSX concepts. One more thing before starting is that sometimes we actually learn very complicated stuff, and chances are we might forget whatever we have learned. But just try to have a rough idea. For example, the last thing we studied, like class versus class name, there are a lot of intricate details, and chances are we might forget. But the only thing we must remember from this, everything, was that we should only use the word class name. We should not use the word class for JSX expression. Simple. A lot of stuff's going on here, but we do give a damn? No. Just the key points. The main important thing. So, with that said, let's keep moving forward. Let's see what self-closing tags. Another common JSX error involves self-closing tags. What? What? What self-closing tags? What are self-closing tags? In most HTML elements, uses two tags like the opening div and the closing div. Of course, we do. However, some HTML elements such as image doesn't have a closing tag because we should remember that image cannot have, let's say, child elements. For that reason, it can have attributes, but it cannot have child elements. Like div can have, let's say, image or input. Div can have another div inside it, but image cannot do anything like that. So that's why it doesn't. And so I guess similarly goes with input. It uses only one tag. The tag that belongs to a single element isn't an opening tag or a closing tag. It's a self-closing tag. Okay. So when you write self-closing tag in hypertext markup language, HTML, it is optional to include forward slash. Oh, wait a second. Okay, when you write a self-closing tag in HTML, it is optional to include a forward slash immediately before the angle brackets. Okay, so you are saying, for example, we have BR. I think BR for what? BR should from line breaker. What is BR? Line break. Okay, so as you want a line breaker. Okay, so HTML is like we are talking about those tags which are self-closing, you know, for them. Let's like, for example, like image. Actually, we're talking about HTML5. In HTML5, we don't have to use a closing tags for such tags, such as HTML elements. Okay, like image, we don't need to, you know, closing forward slash. We don't need that. Okay, input doesn't need that, but if you want to add, you can add. For example, line breaker doesn't need it, so both are fine. Without slash or with slash, both are fine. But in JSX, you have to include the slash. Okay, what the fuck? If you write a self-closing tag in JSX and forget the slash, it will raise an error. Why? I don't know. Not fine with this. You have to use a self-closing tags. You have to use a forward slash. But it shouldn't, right? Yeah, it should. But rules are rules. Okay. In app.js, find the broken JSX by adding slashes to the self-closing tags. You understood the assignment? I guess you did. So let me just zoom. So image is a self-closing one, and here we need to add a forward slash. Articles is not self-closing, so we don't need to add anything there. And we have BR you need to add. These are line breakers, so you need to add forward slashes. This BR is for this, and this BR is for this. Okay, so there are two BRs. And are there anything you want to add? I guess no. So let us just run it. Finger crossed. Error. Yo, it ran. So let's answer some weird ass questions. Can I use self-closing tag syntax for any HTML element? I used it in JSX. Can I use self-closing tags syntax for any HTML element I using? Yeah, of course, because it's fine with both, right? It's fine with both. You understand what I'm saying? HTML is fine with the forward slash or without forward slash, but it is not fine. JSX is not fine. JSX is orthodox, like me, is a toxic guy. You can HTML elements can write JSX can be self-closing as long as we can use forward slashes. Like, that's what I was saying. Who is this smiling lady? They don't even have those big teeth, but she's looking pretty. Covering it up. Bye. So I'll catch you up the next video. Till then, what is the next video about? JavaScript in your JSX in your JavaScript in your JSX in your JavaScript? What is this? I'm reading it right. JavaScript in your JSX in your what the fuck? What the fuck is this? So we'll be covering that in the next video. Till then, I love you. Tada.